quick. Now, I will skip 2 sections of this just for the sake of time on this. A certain part of this that I want to get to. Toby Shook is under direct examination. Nelda Watts. Is that right? Yes, sir. Okay, where do you live? She establishes that she lives at 5802 Eagle Drive in Rowlett. How long have you lived there? It'll be 3 years this month. Do you live there with your husband? Yes, I do. Do you have any children? I have 2 that are on their own. She's retired, home all the time. You can also pause this and read the full thing. Retired school teacher for 34 years, as opposed to someone that had a vendetta or needs to tell a lie. Someone that actually loves children. You didn't have to have a job for that long. Young children. Then she identifies the Routier's home. Just to make sure. Yeah, 2. And you're right across the street from the Routiers. Now, June 18th, 1996, that's the day that Darlie got arrested. And we'll clarify here, I know that she was arrested around 10:30 at night is when Sergeant Dean Poose comes over there. He broke into TV and you hear him say, "We believe that the intruder or the man that Darlie Routier described never existed. We believe that her wounds were self-inflicted, blah, blah, blah." Something like that. He popped in during the 10 o'clock news. So she got arrested around, they made that announcement around 10:30 on June the 18th. Okay, did you hear something out the front yard towards what would be your front yard that drew your attention to the window? Now let's take a look here. Here's a better view of the house that I got off of one of the real estate areas. I just want to be sure that, the noise in this window right here, this is their, it's a bedroom, I believe. This is the front door of the walkway. A window right here that goes directly across the street, that you can see directly across the street from that window. And right here would be her bedroom. And the bedroom windows you can see right out here are the 2 mailboxes, and it's a direct view right into the corner part of the cul-de-sac. It's a direct view. If she stood here, she could see the complete entire front yard of the Routier house. These would be the 2 mailboxes that you can see through that window. Now, this tree was not there. I don't want to hear people say, "Hey, the tree anyway, how can she see?" She actually came outside. But again, let's take a look at that. She heard a noise and she's in this window right here. There's the 2 mailboxes I was showing you. Let's go back to the testimony. Okay, did you hear something in the front yard or towards what would be your front yard that drew your attention to the window? Yes, sir. From my bedroom, I heard sounds. And does your bedroom window, if you look out it, do you see the Routier home? Yes, sir. And when you heard some sounds, did you go to the window and look out? I did. Okay, what did you see when you looked out there? Who was out there? I saw Darlie and Darren Routier. Okay, do you see Darlie Routier in the courtroom here today? He says, I haven't looked. Yes. Okay, is that the woman seated here with the red dress on? Yes, it is. And they established a notification. And where was Darlie Routier and her husband Darren Routier? They were in the front yard Darlie was sat to the south of the sidewalk, and Darren was to the north of the main sidewalk. Okay, was there a Pathfinder parked out front? Now, Darlie had a green colored 1994 Nissan Pathfinder. You can see that Pathfinder in the Silver Spring video is directly behind them, off to the left a little bit behind them in the Silver Spring video. That's Darlie's car. Where was that parked? It will be almost to the south boundary of their yard. Okay, was there something there that had been placed in the yard near the fountain they had? There were many funeral wreaths there. There were stuffed animals, flags, and signs that people had placed there. And this area right here, they removed this fountain. You can still see it here. This is before the wreaths and the people from the neighborhood put notes and teddy bears and all kinds of memorials for Devin and Damon onto this fountain right here. The fountain, they paid $6,000 for it. And a lot of times people would come around this cul-de-sac here and they would slow down to take a look at it. That fountain would have been right here in this area. You still see a patch of grass right here where they had a light, it was lit. They had a light shining on it here. They also had a light shining on it from this direction here. And as you looked out there, what were Darren and Darlie Routier doing? Darren was taking the animals and flags off of the wreath. What types of animals were there on the wreath? Some of them were teddy bears, other kinds of little, just small animals. And where was Darlie when he was doing this? Most of the time, she was on the other side of the sidewalk that goes up to their house. The other side of the sidewalk. If she's saying it goes up to the house, it may have been this one. But I'm thinking she was on the other side by the car. I'm thinking he was right in here on the fountain, and she was right in here. Do you see the fountain here? Yes. Darlie was on this side, close to this tree. He was on this side. The wreaths were mostly on this side, closer to the fountain. Okay. Turn that off. Close to this tree.
That.
The car was parked on the south side. Yeah, so we're getting there. You are looking out here from your window. This area here was Darren by the fountain. Yes, he was on the wreaths and such were. He was on this side, and she was over closer toward this tree. And your house is 5802? Yes, sir, 5802. When you heard some noises, what was the first noise you heard? It sounded sort of like children laughing and that kind of thing. And what did you see then? Well, as I watched for a few minutes, Darren would take a stuffed animal off of one of the wreaths and toss it over to Darlie. She would jump up and catch it. And then she would toss it back to him. And he would chuck it toward the vehicle. The back end of the vehicle was open. And if he threw it in, she would jump up closer and cheer. Now, those Nissan Pathfinders are SUVs, and it does have a tailgate. That's what she was talking about. Let's take a look at one.
Everything you need under one roof with this great vehicle. With a reliable 6-cylinder engine that responds smoothly to its automatic transmission. The anti-lock braking system will keep you safe on the road. And with these notable features, you won't want to miss out on the opportunity to own this amazing ride. Amazing ride. Power.
See how it has the hatchback door that goes up. That's what she was talking about, that it was open. These windows will come open. That's why my SUV is. The window comes open and the gate comes open.
Or steering, an adjustable tilt steering wheel. Call today to schedule a test drive.
Right here would be Darlie's Pathfinder. Right here. In the silkscreen video.
Can you hear Darlie?
Well, he took a flag off one of them, and she cheered as he climbed up the water fountain and put it up the top of the fountain. It stayed there for several months, or weeks anyway. You can see that in some of the news clips that are out there. I don't want to go digging for it because there's hundreds of them, but you can see that there's two flags up on top of that fountain that she's speaking about. American flags are up there, and Darren put it there, according to this Nelda Watts, this retired preschool, junior high school teacher of 34 years. Okay, then what did you see them do? Well, they started, after they got most of the animals off, and I didn't stand there the whole time, but I looked again because I was waiting to go out and get the mail. I didn't want to go out there while they were doing that. And her mailbox would have been directly in the view. This one right here is Karen Neal. Matches the house. The brick matches the house. This one right here would be Nelda Watts. She didn't want to go out and be in their direct view because she was uncomfortable with what she was seeing going on in this area right here. I didn't want to go out there while they were there. We're out there doing that. So I looked again, and they were taking the wreaths and dragging them behind around toward the back. I assume for trash. Now, there's nothing wrong with them taking them wreaths around to the back, in my opinion. They were probably dead anyway. And so I quickly made a run to the mailbox to check the mail before I left. Okay, this was on the 18th of June, 1996. Okay, this was the 18th of June, 1996. Yes, sir, it was the 18th. As best as you recall. I know it was. Okay, did you find out later that day that Miss Routier had been taken into custody later on that day? My other daughter called me at where I was. I don't want you to get into what anyone else told you. That'd be hearsay. But did you learn later on? Yeah, I watched it on TV. Okay, here's the cross-examination. This one, if I understand, that's why you're positive it's 18th, because it's stuck in your mind that's the same day of the arrest. This is mostly cross-examination. Yes, sir. That's why you're so sure about the date? Yes, I am sure. Can you see this? Not real clearly. Okay, from there, the lights are, there's a little glare. He's trying to make it look like she's got a problem with the finger. So she came out of the box. Okay, how far is that from where the Routiers are standing? It's not very, just the street width in our yard. Okay, and you're upstairs in your, oh no, I had a downstairs bedroom. Let's take a look at that. I thought she was in a different window. Oh, okay, so it wasn't downstairs. You can see the sidewalk and stuff close to it. It was a downstairs bedroom. Okay, and from this window, which is on the other side of the house, you can see the Routier's mailbox right here and the Routier's house right here, and the fountain would have been right there. So this is more likely the window that she was looking out of. I didn't realize there were two bedrooms downstairs. But this is how I research things. I take a look. But you can see the Routier mailbox right there. Yeah, you can see it. And a tree in the front. Yeah, so that window would have been directly right there. Now, this mailbox that we see right here, it's not the same mailbox that was there before. They had a cast iron mailbox that was there before. But in my opinion, she had a really good view. Let's see if we can go over this way. Yeah, in my opinion, she had a really good view of what was going on this side of the house. Right in here is what she's talking about. Do you have curtains or blinds or something? I have many blinds. Are they open? No, I lift it up if I need to. I hear a noise I need to see. Okay, I understand. Have you ever had a conversation with Darlie Routier? No. Never have even talked to her? No. She's never been to your house. She has never been vice versa? No. So you looked out this window. Yes, sir. Where was this vehicle parked? It was parked closer down here. Okay. Very close to, I think, a fire hydrant. Okay, so we can do this because I'm gonna pinpoint where they're at. Now this is the same fire hydrant that's been there. You can see in the news clips where they're tying off the crime scene tape there. You can also see Devin and David playing on this sidewalk here. So it appears that I had to make a correction that Darren's truck was parked this way. Darlie was closer to the sidewalk here, and the fountain was over there. As I read the testimony, I'm learning. The property closer to the Routier's property line, yes, sir. It's facing south. And you saw Darren Routier in the fountain area, in front of the fountain. Yes, what was he doing? He took the teddy bears or other stuffed animals off the wreath and tossed them to her. She was standing over here. Yes, sir. So he, from that fountain, he threw them across, yes, to where she was standing. How far would that be? Maybe 10 to 12 feet? That is just 10 or 12 feet? Well, he didn't stay stationary there. He moved at times, and she moved at times. But she always stayed on this side until they started moving the wreaths. Okay, with this teddy bear throwing, he was standing on one side and she was standing on the other side. And then you say he would pick it up, either catch it, or she would pick it up, either catch it, or if she didn't catch it, she would pick it up and toss it back to him and throw it back over the sidewalk. Yes. Anybody else out there? No, sir. I'm pretty well there during the day. She's retired, so she's there during the day. No, I'm not talking about anyone else in the area. Oh, no. No one was around the area. No, sir. Okay, then how many times do they usually throw it back and forth? Usually she just tossed it back once, and he would throw it towards the car, the vehicle. So hold that straight, Mr. Muller. She would get it over there. Uh-huh. He would throw it up over one time to this side. She would throw it back. Uh-huh. And then Darren would throw it. That's true. Way over by the car. And sometimes I went in. And sometimes it went in. Sometimes I guess it landed in the street. I don't know that it went in the street, but maybe down below. All right, in the yard. But not what I would call the street. And how many times did you do this? 3 or 4 times? 3 or 4 of those? Yes, sir. They all happened in the same way? What time was this? Approximately 10:30 or 11 o'clock. Now, you have supporters that want to tell you, that wasn't Darlie, that was Dana. Right? That was Dana with Darren. Because Darlie had already been arrested. That's what they'll tell you. Or Darlie didn't get arrested until 10:30 that night. And let's suppose that we got the times wrong and the supporters tell the truth. That was Dana. What is Dana doing riding around with Darren after his wife just got arrested? It It wasn't Dana. Dana had reddish hair. She was probably 10 years younger than Darlie. And you never saw any other cars? No. Come up? No. No, sir. How long did you watch total? I watched a couple of minutes and then I did some packing because I was going to my daughter's. Then I looked again because I wanted to see if they were still out there. I just didn't want to go out to the mailbox at that point. Okay, so the first part is they are having, he had to cut himself off. They're having fun throwing stuff, so he didn't want to put that out there like that. Okay, so the first part is when they are having throwing stuff, and then you sort of went away. I went back to the bed to pack. Okay, then you came out and you saw something with regard to the flowers. I did not come out. Okay, I'm sorry, you came back to the window? I came back to the window. Same window? Same, I only have one. You saw something with the flowers? They took first he took the flag and put it on top of the fountain. Okay, a little flag. Just one of those, maybe 8 by 10 or something like that. An American flag. Next time I go through that news clip, I'll point that flag out. Yes, sir. He put that on top of the fountain? Yes. Then they started doing something with the wreaths. They started dragging them. They were they dead wreaths? They started dragging them around the side of the house. When they did that, I went out. Okay, so the first part of this was taking things off the wreath. Yes, flags or teddy bears or whatever might have been on them because the wreaths were dead. Yes, sir. Then the second part of it was they were taking the wreaths themselves. She established that they took them around the back of the house. That's all you saw. I left. Anything else you saw that day? No, sir. Then they just let her down. Now Toby Ship comes back for redirect examination. When you saw them doing that, how did you feel? I'll object to that. And that was sustained. Because her feelings didn't matter. That's a good call on the judge's part because what she felt didn't matter. And Toby Ship would come back and ask her a different way. But no. Oh no, he stepped him down. He objected to it. She didn't get to answer how she felt. And Nelda Watts is dead now. But it just doesn't seem appropriate that they would be playfully. That memorial should have stayed up. They shouldn't have took it down. She didn't want it in their yard. They're worried about their yard. Yeah, let's get these dead wreaths out of here. Let's get these teddy bears out of here. Let's put that flag on top of our fountain because that fountain is, look at me. Look at us.
And 4-year-old.
This is a news clip from June the 7th. You can see that there's that fountain and there were no memorials on it at that point.
Authorities try to supply some answers.
Police say this will.
That's Joe Munoz who covered the case. And Patricia Springer told me that Joe Munoz did not like Darlie. And that she's friendly with him because he's a journalist there. He did not like Darlie. She hadn't been arrested yet. But you see that the fountain is running and everything.
They believe that for whatever reason, this family was targeted, and they have found a crucial piece of evidence, a knife, could lead them to the attack.
That's Dean Poos right there. And right here is the fountain with the memorials. This is on June 17th. The fountain with the memorials on it. Let's play this little clip a little bit, see how much they show. And there's that fire hydrant that I was talking about earlier. That's the same one that was still there, same color and everything. There's the flag that she was talking about. This flag right here ended up on top. Darren put it up there. There's the wreath. Now this is June the 17th that this clip was taken. Right here. And you can see that the wreaths aren't quite dead. There's lots of ribbons and stuff. And they drag them around the back. Because by God, those wreaths were covering their fountain. And they wanted people to see that fountain. This is more than likely the flag that they put up on that Darren climbed up there and put on top. Now, see, this is June the 17th. You see a lot of green in the wreaths. Now, some of them look dead, though, too. I'll give them that. There's a lot of green in the wreath. Now, some of the shrubbery is dead. But that wreath right there is nice and green the day before they did this. Now, this is Dana. Darlie's half sister. But, you know, I mean, technically she's a half sister, but they call I have a half sister. They call each other brother and sister. She don't look anything like Darlie. Nothing. She looks like Mama Key. She looks about the same as she did when she was 16. I don't think it's appropriate behavior in my. They're not like grieving appropriately when all they're worried about is clearing that fountain out so people can see that fountain. That memorial should have stayed up there for a long time. The teddy bears should have been tossed around in the air like that, in my opinion. And supporters will tell you, Nelda's lying. She was old. She couldn't hardly see. She didn't even know Darlie. She didn't know her. She lived directly across the street. And they'd be outside in the yard all the time, you know, according to, but there's a huge difference between Dana, which is what was 16 at the time, and Darlie. But there really are some dumbass supporters that will tell you that was Dana. That was Dana out there with Darren. That she had already been arrested, so that was Dana. You're a damn liar. Those ones that keep trying to tell us that was Dana. It just didn't seem appropriate to me. That's the testimony of Nelda Watts. You can find that in trial transcripts. If you need any of the transcripts, just get a hold of me at BryanSt.John and I'll send them to you. Or I'll leave where you can get them. Because the truth is in the transcripts. Nelda Watts had absolutely no reason to make that story up. Okay, so I'm having trouble with my video editor. So that's why I had to do this video this way. It's really pissing me off. I've been working on it for a couple hours. I try to put out videos each and every day about Darlie, about her guilt. I'll keep working on this until I get it resolved. If not, I'll just buy another program and keep doing it. That's what I'm going to keep doing this. And that's my goal, is for people to remember Devin and Damon Routier and not so much Darlie. I don't hate Darlie. I just hate the fact that people come out and they don't understand the case, or they understand it and they just tell flat out lies about her innocence. And I've got balls enough to reach out to some people, you know, jurors around that police department, book writers, all of them. I've got them interviewed. Just take a look at my YouTube channel until I get this problem fixed, which I've never had it be this bad before, where it'll upload, but it won't encode. And that way I can't place it on YouTube unless I go live, which you can't see it as well. And it really is pissing me off. So I'm trying to fix it, but I'm not going to give up. As long as people are out there telling lies and getting this case wrong, I'm going to do what I do. It's so please be sure to look at my videos, comment under them. If you feel like I said something wrong, then say so. I won't bite your head off for it. I don't hate people just because they support Darlie. I hate people when they get, insultive towards me. I won't stand for that. But my goal is just to show that she is guilty. Because I know it. I've researched it. I've stood right in. I've been to that house. I've talked to those investigators. I've talked to the prosecutor. I've talked to both of them. Email back and forth with James Cron. I know. And people want you to believe on the support side, they want you to believe that prosecutors are lying, judges are lying, doctors and surgeons are lying, FBI is lying, forensic scientists are lying. Everybody is lying except for Darlie. If you look at the testimony of Darren Routier, and if you need that testimony, just email me. You can see that who is lying. They tripped him up so bad it was ridiculous. They tripped Darlie up really bad on the stand. So over the weekend, I'm going to try and get this uploader working right. If not, I'll buy another one. I don't care because it's really pissing me off. I enjoy doing this. I have a passion for doing this, and then I have to depend on this program. So, peace and chicken grease, y'all. I'll see you when I see you. I'm going to get this fixed.